Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1770. March, of course, is Women's Month here on Cars Yeah, and we are celebrating women in the automotive sector by having conversations with 23 back-to-back inspiring automotive enthusiasts throughout the month. These are all women who are shifting the conversation.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm in Visalia, California. I think the sun shines a lot there with a very special guest by the name of Melanie White. Hey, Melanie, welcome to Cars Yeah. Are you ready to put it in gear and release the clutch?
Absolutely, I am.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. Now, listen, before I give you a proper introduction, what's one little thing that maybe most people may not know about you?
You know, I think one thing people may not know about me, I love the outdoors. My dad has 4 daughters that he tried to get into all the sports he loved.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I grew up riding dirt bikes. So I have since hung up my helmet for that, but that is one thing that we grew up doing, and I just loved it.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot of that growing up, too. We used to go camping down in Baja, California, growing up in Southern California, and ride up and down the beaches and the sand dunes, and I loved riding motorcycles off-road. It was a lot of fun.
So fun.
Yeah,
It's great. Great way to be outside.
Yeah, really cool. 4 daughters. Oh, my gosh. Your father had his hands full, didn't he?
He sure did. Yeah. He was a good sport about it, but he just was determined to get us into at least one of the sports that he loved. So, we all got on bikes early, and my baby sister is the best out of all of us because she had the most time under her belt. But we all have loved it.
How cool. How cool. Well, I've got a daughter, very proud of her. Daughters are an amazing blessing to have in our lives as men. So very, very cool. And he got 4. So wow. Holy cow. Very cool. Well, let me give you a proper introduction. Melanie White is the president of Hellwig Products. They were founded in 1946. No, she's not that old, but it's a family business. Hellwig Products manufactures forged steel suspension products for a variety of vehicles, including recreational vehicles, trucks, and SUVs, and they are an OE supplier for Oshkosh, Freightliner, and the United States military. Family owned and operated, Hellwig Products is based in Visalia and has been manufacturing in California in the Central Valley for nearly 60 years. Melanie is active in SEMA and association leadership. She's a committee member on the Emerging Trends and Technology Council, and she was named SEMA Person of the Year, I remember that, in 2018. Congratulations. And currently sits on the SEMA Board of Directors. I've been to SEMA 30 times, Melanie, so I don't know why we haven't crossed paths before now, but it's kind of a big place, right?
It's a little bit of, it's just a little big.
Just a little bit.
But we will have to cross paths the next time, the next SEMA.
Yeah, when they open it up this year, thank goodness. So we all missed it last year. We'll be back in a minute to talk with Melanie, but first a word from our sponsors. So keep your seatbelts on. We're going to have a little fun today with Melanie White. Sit tight. The best way to protect and preserve your vehicles, along with the meanings, memories, and experiences they give you, is with a quality-made, custom-fit car cover from my friends at Covercraft. At covercraft.com, you'll find a multitude of options, including form-fit, fleece satin, and their unique View Shield. Yeah, you can see right through the cover. Need a cover that will protect your rides outside? Quality options include Weather Shield, Weather Shield HD, Weather Shield HP, Sunbrella, Reflect, Carhartt Evolution, and of course, NOAA. Covercraft protects cars, trucks, motorcycles, RVs, and watercraft too. Custom-made covers for any vehicle, you can get them from Covercraft. Shield your vehicles from the rain, the snow, the sun's damaging rays with soft, safe breathability, dust protective, and ding protection, and protection from those paint-destroying bird droppings. Live in a windy area? Covercraft Gust Guards are a must-have option. Worried about theft? You can get cable locks with their built-in grommets that keep your cover on your vehicle. Their website makes ordering fast and easy, and I'll tell you, their talented customer service department, they'll walk you through any of your questions. You want a deal? Use the code YEAH21 at covercraft.com and you'll get 10% off your Covercraft order thanks to me. That's right, 10% off. Simply use the code YEAH21 at checkout. I've been protecting my vehicles with their covers since 1975. Covercraft, protecting the things that move you. American Collectors Insurance, that's who now protects my Porsche Turbo. Yeah, the one I call my Orange Crush. When it came time to renew my policy, my carrier jacked my rates up, even though I'd been with them for years. I'd never made a claim. No tickets, nothing. What's with that? Adios. So I started shopping around and kept hearing about American Collectors Insurance from fellow automotive enthusiasts, friends, and folks in the car industry. I did some investigating and learned that American Collectors Insurance have been protecting collector vehicles since 1976. I'm not a price shopper when it comes to insurance. I want to be able to sleep at night. I also want agreed value protection for my special ride. With an agreed valued policy from American Collectors Insurance, I'll be paid what my vehicle's full agreed value is, a number I set with the insurer at the start of the policy so I know there will be no surprises about what my car's value is, should something terrible happen. I shopped around and decided to protect my car with American Collectors Insurance. Give them a call for a quote today at 866-ACI-YEAH. That's 866-224-9324 and protect the ones you love. Make sure you tell them Mark sent you. You'll be glad you did. American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. All right, Melanie, we are back. So let's go a little deeper into the corner. I would love for you to share with us a little bit more about this family business that you're now in charge of. What is it all about? What do you guys do? It's a nice way to get the inspirational tire smoking a little bit here on Cars Yeah, So Grab the Wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's interesting. Hellwig Products has always been a part of my life, right? As a kid, my dad worked here, my uncle, my grandpa, everyone worked here. And it wasn't until, I got older, I had this dream that I wanted to work in the family business, but I didn't really know what that meant. And then I diverted off and was going to do something else for a while. And then I had the opportunity to come and do cold calling for Hellwig. And I think I just fell in love.
That's jumping in the deep end.
Yeah. Cold calling is, it is jumping in for sure. And it was just, I fell in love with selling our product. I fell in love with our customers, and I fell in love with the industry. We have a lot of fun here, and it's just been a super fun journey going through all of this. So, I started cold calling, then got into more of a sales marketing position, and I spent most of my career there. And I think I just had so much fun because it's a fun product to talk about, but it's also hidden and tucked away. So it was challenging also to get people to pay attention to it, right? It's not bright and shiny,
right,
but it makes such a difference in handling for your vehicle that I was just so inspired to be able to get people excited and interested in putting it on their vehicles. So my job has never been boring, right? So the whole path that I chose, I just have always had a good time with that, those challenges.
Sounds like fun. So tell our listeners a lot more about what you guys provide us car geeks, those of us who love cars, and we love to make them run and ride better.
Yeah, absolutely. So my grandfather came up with the idea for the helper spring. So they would actually manufacture at night, then sell door to door on the weekends.
Oh my gosh.
So they'd see a vehicle sagging in a driveway, and they'd say, oh, we can go fix that. So they'd go knock on the door. My great-grandfather would sell it to them, and then my grandpa, who was, I think he was 18 at the time, would lay on his back in the driveway and install the helper spring.
Wow.
So we have a different way of going to market now, but I think I love to tell that story, right?
Yeah.
But it's really obvious when a vehicle's sagging, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It needs Hellwig, right? It needs to be brought back up to level load height. So we still sell helper springs, and then we also manufacture and sell sway bars. And I think both of them make such a difference in ride quality, in handling, in like the safety of the vehicle. And sway bars, I've always loved having a sway bar on my vehicle. And you just can take corners faster.
Yeah.
The overall stability of the vehicle is just hands down, it's such a better experience. But they both are those tucked away, products there that are in the under chassis.
Right. They help a lot, but you don't really see them. And like you said, they're not shiny, but they certainly are helpful. And for anybody who loves cars and loves to drive and likes to make their car handle better, Hellwig Products is the way to go. I'd like to ask my guests a little bit about what the driving inspiration or a key mentor in your life has been. Now, having a family like you've had and being around, a generation after generation after generation, I would assume, I might be wrong here, that maybe they've got some family members that were mentors in your life, very influential people that helped you along?
Yeah, absolutely. My grandpa and my dad were both very hands-on in the business and come with lots of advice. They definitely are inspirations for me, and it's not a day goes by without me thinking about, the legacy here within our company and how it started. I think it's good for me. It's inspiring to think about like where we started and where we are now. But I'll say they definitely have been my inspiration my entire life. They just had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this business and gave it their all. So I think that's the part that I love. But I've seen also outside of just my family, the industry is full of people, and especially women, that I have found really inspiring. And I've been so lucky to be able to call my friends as well. So like Catherine Reinhardt, Kim Pendergrass, Sarah Morrison, Marla Moore. I could go on, but like I have a lot of inspirations there within SEMA that I've been so lucky to serve next to those women and just be able to call them friends too.
SEMA is such a great organization. I've had so many people from SEMA on, including Wade Kawasaki, who was leading the charge there. It's absolutely marvelous. I've been there 30 times. This past year would have been my 31st year of attending SEMA. I'll go again this year. It's so much fun, and there's so many people there that can help you in so many aspects. When you think about some of these mentors you've had, is there maybe, of the many lessons they taught you, could you pick out maybe one just for today that's been really valuable for you as you find yourself in this leadership role at your company?
Actually, I have a funny story. Someone that doesn't really fall into my mentor, right? As someone a consultant came in to Hellwig, and we were talking through just some different opportunities that we might have, and I made some comment, and I was young at the time I think I was in my late 20s, and I made a comment about being a female. And he stopped the conversation and he said, "We can't go on. We have to address this."
Yeah.
He said, "No one is going to address or care about you being a female. Your age is going to be the only thing that holds you back. So if you can show up and be the best prepared in the room, the one that knows the most, you are going to be fine. What you need to worry about is only really your age." And I think it was interesting, it's not someone I spent a lot of time with, but it just completely set my mindset and my career like on a different path, because I no longer thought about that as something that might hold me back. And really what I found was kind of the opposite, is that, I'd go to trade shows like SEMA, and someone that might not remember my name, but I'm the only female in the booth. And so they remember me and over the four other guys there.
Yep.
So I really have found it to be helpful to be a female in this industry.
Very interesting perspective. And I love the fact that he brought it up that way. Nice way to think about it. Really, really different approach. So that's really refreshing. If there's a young woman that wants to come to you, or an older woman that wants to get into this business, and the car business is changing a lot more women are becoming involved in it, is there maybe a piece of wisdom or advice you might offer that person who wants to get into a business that's mostly thought of as being male dominated?
Yeah, I think it is just that we're welcome, right? There's nothing holding us back here. The only thing that I think does hold us back is our own sort of like mindset in that area.
Yeah.
And really, I think if like something tangible would be within SEMA, there's a SEMA Business Women's Network. And I would just say get involved in that. There's a lot of women that want to help other women and just help you navigate all the different aspects of this industry. And if I had to do it again, I would absolutely jump into volunteering within the SEMA organization, or really like any organization, if I was going into a new industry, because I found that that's where a lot of people who are really motivated, want to learn more, want to contribute, that's where they're hanging out, and that's where I want to be. So if I had that opportunity to step in again, I would just say, please go find somewhere to volunteer.
Oh, awesome advice. Now, what point in time did you realize that staying within the family business and then evolving into what you do now was the right choice for you? Was there a pivotal moment? Was there an aha moment, or did it evolve over time?
Oh, that's a great question. It really did evolve over time. And it didn't, too. I can remember, being at the first SEMA show and thinking, this is what I get to do and I get to call it work. And there's times I have an 11-year-old boy who I will take to, some of the more fun events. He's gone to Moab with me. We went to King of the Hammers a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And for a while, he was like, I don't want to do what Mom does. She's busy and she works a lot. And then we go to those events and he's like, you need people get paid to do this?
Right.
So I think that's the part, right? Like when you go to those events, you just there's an energy about it, and it's the smell of gasoline and, just that competitive nature, but everyone's also there to have a good time. I think I just love that about our industry. So I'll say overall in the family business, it was a slower, I got hooked over time, but really I can see the first time I went to SEMA, I was sold. I was in the industry.
Isn't it wonderful when you have that epiphany and you go, you mean I could get paid to do something I like? I worked in the advertising industry before I got into the automotive industry long ago. I was in my 20s and we were at a photo shoot down in Mexico on a beach. And I remember getting up early that morning. We wanted to shoot early where the light was really nice and we had all these models. And I was in my mid-20s and I'm like, I get paid to do this? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
This is so cool.
I was going to say, that would be one of those moments, right?
Yeah. Although I have to say many times those photo shoots dealing with professional models really wasn't that much fun as it seems to be. But it was interesting to think that, and I grew up on a beach surfing, so being at the beach was the cool thing for me. So yeah, the only thing better is if I'd been paid to be a professional surfer, but my surfing I did a lot of, but I was never that great at it. What's the favorite part of your job these days? What really gets you fired up when you get out of bed in the morning and head off to work?
Yeah, so the people, right? My team, my customers, that interaction that, I get to serve both my team and my customers. That's what really gets me excited. I think that's the part that it's hard to explain, what I will sign up to do, right? When I was thinking about getting into the family business and what it would look like taking over the business. But that was the aspect that I didn't really think about as much, but really seeing my team members be challenged and having growth opportunities and seeing them grow through that. I think also just that seeing my customers being able to support them and see their businesses grow and things like that have been the most exciting for me. I just really love that, the people aspect and being able to connect with them. So yeah, that's what gets me excited about getting out of bed in the morning for sure.
Very cool. Well, yeah, the car industry, the hobby, the industry, it really is all about the people. It's a great thing about SEMA when you go. It's cool, but it's all the people you see. It's like going to a Concours event or Car Week at Pebble or Amelia or any of these places. It's the people you see, and the cars are just the thing that bring us all together. Very cool. Well, let's take a short break and thank our sponsors. When we come back, I've got a bit of a challenge question for you, so keep the seatbelts on. We'll be right back. I've discovered Linkage. It's a new quarterly publication and website that covers the automotive market, driving, restoring, collecting, and discovering your passion for motor vehicles. Linkage is about experiences, opinions, and values. Linkage is an actual informed, reasoned opinion based on first-hand experiences. A talented Linkage team covers the automotive world, the people who share your passion and mine, smart, considered, rational, and experienced opinions, ones you can learn from and grow. That includes our passion that drives auctions and the collector car market. So come with me and join us on this journey. Join Linkage. Linkage, geared for the automotive life. Subscribe today at linkagemag.com. And don't forget, if you use the code CARSYEAH at checkout at linkagemag.com, you get $10 off your subscription. So go and subscribe today. Crash jewelry is handmade from the metal of luxury cars while preserving the original factory paint. Founder Christy Shimke came up with the idea when she moved her jewelry studio into her husband's Los Angeles auto body shop. After watching beautiful Porsche ultraviolet fenders and Ferrari Rosso Corsa hoods head to the scrapyard, she developed her own unique upcycling process of cutting, bending, and sanding the metal into unique, wearable pieces of beautiful automotive art. For Women's History Month here on Cars Yeah!, Crash Jewelry is giving away a special Ferrari Art Deco cuff. The cuff includes an empowering message engraved inside. Enter to win today by subscribing at crashjewelry.com. Plus, Christy is offering Cars Yeah! listeners 10% off in March when you use the code CARSYEAH at checkout. That's crashjewelry.com and use the code CARSYEAH today. And don't forget to follow Christy on Instagram at Crash Jewelry. All right, Melanie, now I always ask my guests about a big obstacle they faced, a big challenge, maybe even a big giant failure. Now, before I have you talk about maybe something in particular you want to talk about, I have to ask you this. You're fourth generation, right, of this family business? I can't imagine there's got to be a bit of a weight on those shoulders of yours that you keep this thing going that great-grandpa started knocking on those doors way back.
There's a little bit of the weight, and I think I'm doing most of it to myself, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm putting it there, and I think it's challenging, and I feel the pressure there, but honestly, it also really excites me. We're turning 75 this year.
Wow.
And yeah, 75 years ago, I think about, what my grandpa saw in his lifetime or what the company has seen in their lifetime with different vehicles. I think that's so exciting to think we still get to put stuff on vehicles and sell it and make a living and, make improvements to vehicles. It's just awesome.
It's very cool. And you think about this, you are somewhat EV proof because electric vehicles still need suspension components, not engine components, but suspension components. So somehow Grandpa thought that one through way back when, that we're still going to need this, even though the component of what powers the vehicle is going to change. Well, is there a big obstacle or something you'd like to share with us today that was really tough for you? And more importantly, what did it teach you so that you could come through in a positive way?
Oh gosh, I think it's so hard because there's so many, right? Like, I think one of the biggest ones for me was I grew up within the company, right, on the sales and marketing side. So I was cold calling, I was doing sales, I was marketing, and I was never really in like the numbers business. Mm-hmm. And so just now having that pressure of being responsible for the financials felt overwhelming when I first got into my position. And I remember being at an event and participants were asked to like pick whatever wish you want. And I remember saying, I want to be good at numbers. And the person, we had to like share it with a partner, and they were like, are you serious? That's what you want? I mean, you could pick anything. And I said, yeah, I want to be good at numbers. Yeah. I said, you're just not good at it yet. And I think that was like one of the things, right? Like that I needed that shift too, right? Like that, okay, you're just not good at it yet. You haven't spent the time in it. And then within my company too, there wasn't like this automatic, there wasn't this like paved road for me to be in the position I'm in, even though I'm family, right? So my thing was always, I'd do one job and then I'd realize that there was a need in another area of the company. And so I'd fill that position and then I'd move to another position and fill that. And each time I'd move, I'd be like, hey, now I'm doing this. I need the title to go with it. Until I finally moved into the president role, and I was, filling all the president duties. I was vice president at the time, and I was saying, now I need the president role.
Yeah.
I think that was another challenge, right? Is like to how to navigate that, not only with my family, but also, just within an organization.
Sure.
So that was a fun challenge for sure.
Well, good. Well, it's always great to push yourself into areas that you're uncomfortable with. That's when the magic starts to happen. What are some things that are on your bucket list that you still would love to accomplish? You're still a young person, so at least from my side of the fence, you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel like that. But.
Well, that means you've done a lot of things, but that's okay. It's all up in your head anyway. So
I know.
Yeah. Is there maybe one or two great things you still want to accomplish, either personally or business related?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say that someone was saying I had my midlife crisis because I drive a Raptor every day.
Whoa.
And that was my big goal. I'd like to eventually drive like a sporty truck every day. And I got there.
Very cool.
And so they said I had my midlife crisis at that time. Yeah. But we have some really big like growth goals within our company. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I see with all of that, right? Like with any challenge that comes up or with growth, all of those things really like set you into that trajectory of forcing you into personal growth as well. And I think any time that I've seen a challenge or a growth within our company, like it really forces us to up level. What's that next thing? And while it's having big revenue goals and things like that are good and exciting, I think what I get most excited about it is that what it forces us into growth-wise for personal growth.
Yeah, absolutely. My next door neighbor has a Raptor, and remember when he first let me drive that thing, I've never really been a truck guy. I'm a sports car guy. I always had sports cars. Oh my gosh, that truck's a beast. Holy cow. It's not like driving a truck at all. It's incredible.
No, it's not. It's so fun. And I would be like, I'm just going to go to the grocery store. I didn't really need anything, but it was like, oh, I'll go. It felt like I was 16 again, right? I'll do that errand.
Yeah. They're pretty fun. I believe he calls his Ruby because it's red. Pretty special vehicle, but man, it's like driving a sports car. And it didn't even drive like a truck. It drove more like a really nice SUV kind of, but obviously gobs of power. And the day I drove it, it was rainy, so it was a little fun to spin the tires a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What are some positive ways you like to give back and help others? Yeah,
I love being able to serve our industry on the board and think of these bigger strategic goals that we have too. Mm-hmm. I love being a part of something bigger. I remember before I decided to work for the company, I actually was going into a route where I was going to be a marriage and family therapist.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember reading the Wall Street Journal one morning and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm headed down the wrong path for me. Business changes all the time. Mm-hmm. And there's always some new opportunity, new challenge. And I just was so excited about how dynamic business was that I wanted to get into business and had this awesome opportunity to be able to get involved in our family business. And I think overall, I see that with the board too. I get to serve FEMA and our industry in a way that we're thinking about these bigger things like the direction, like you mentioned, electric vehicles. A lot of the trajectory of vehicles is headed in that electric market. Yeah. And I think while it's different and it's a new direction and maybe some of us aren't that excited about it because we just have less ability to make the modifications that we want, that is happening. And so we have an opportunity and to chase that a little bit. And I think that's where I love to be able to give back because I want to help be a part of like those solutions and those conversations.
Absolutely. Well, you think about the acceleration of that Raptor. Imagine with ludicrous mode in a Raptor, an electric Raptor. Yeah.
I know.
Whoa.
Yeah. My dream car has been a Porsche 911.
Yep.
And my my son, 11, he's super into cars. He asked, Mom, when you get a Porsche, are you going to be the first off the line? Because I love when I get to be, at the front of the line at the stoplight, and I love to be the first off the line.
Yep.
And I didn't even notice he
was
know
paying
that
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful. They're always paying attention. You just don't know it. Yeah.
I know.
Everything
That was a
you
lesson.
do. Well, you have to call me back. I've had many Porsche 911s. I've got one now. They're awesome cars. My car of choice. I like BMWs too, but Porsche is the car for me. So yeah, 911s are awesome. It's going to put a big smile just like that Raptor does on your face. I promise you that when you get yours. What's been your greatest high point so far? A moment that you've been really proud of in your life?
I think, being selected SEMA Person of the Year, that was like a really big deal and a big surprise. But I think some of the things that I'm most proud of are not those moments, right? They're these like little moments where, I saw someone in our team fill a position that was really stretch for them and meet like a crazy challenge. I think those are the things that really stand out and get me so excited and have fulfilled me in my career. It's not these big moments, right? It's all of these little things that add up over time. Yeah. So it's been a fun journey. And I think that's the fun thing, right? It's like every week there's something new or different. And it's those little things sprinkled in that really make a big difference.
I can tell, Melanie, you're a very giving person, and that's a wonderful thing about you. Getting excited for other people's opportunity and achievements is a sign of a true leader, so there you go. We'll be back in just a minute to take you on the ultimate drive, so keep the seatbelts on. We'll be right back with Melanie White of Hellwig. I'm honored to say that my charity of choice here at Cars Yeah is Tech Force Foundation. They help young people find an education and career that aligns with their passions. For those who love cars, problem solving, and working with their hands, a career as a professional automotive technician is the perfect fit for a fulfilling life. We're all wired differently, and not every successful career demands a 4-year university. Technical education and the skilled trades matter, and we need qualified, skilled technicians to keep our vehicles rolling. Learn more about how you can support tomorrow's driving force and workforce of technicians at techforce.org, like I do here at Cars Yeah. Hey, fellow inspiring automotive enthusiasts, did you know if you subscribe at carsyeah.com, I'll send you my free Filler Up book? It's an ebook filled with fuel, filler fun, and inspirational quotes from past guests here on Cars Yeah. Plus, you'll get a weekly wrap-up email from me every Friday, and your name will be in the hat for one of the many free giveaways here at Cars Yeah. Simply go to carsyeah.com and click on the free book button, and boom, you're in the club. And don't forget to subscribe to Cars Yeah on your mobile podcast app, and you'll get the Cars Yeah show delivered right to your mobile device every day, absolutely free. Inspiring automotive enthusiasts, that's what we're all about here at Cars Yeah. Thanks for listening. All right, Melanie, we are back, and I'm going to allow you to go on a very special drive today, the ultimate drive. And what this comprises of is any car you'd like with any person you'd like. But what you need to tell me is what's the car, who's the person, who's going to be driving, and what are a couple questions you might ask this special passenger or driver, depending on where you decide to sit in the car.
Oh, yeah. I really like being in the driver's seat.
Okay, I kind of figured that. Yeah.
But, I have this picture of my great-grandpa. My great-grandpa died before I was born, and I would love to meet him. I hear all of these different stories, right? But when you meet someone in person, right. I would love to be able to meet him. And he lived through the Depression. He just pulled himself out of, really bad times. And he always had this drive and entrepreneurial spirit when I don't think there was a lot of that. And I would so love to be able to, pick his brain about like how he got started, how he was able to, take that leap of faith for his company and all of that. So I think it would be really fun. And there's a picture in my office that sits on my wall, and it's a picture of him driving a Model T. And so he's in the driver's seat. So I just imagine myself being able to sit in that passenger seat and be able to ask him some questions about, his history.
Wow. No doubt he'd be very proud of you, Melanie. That would be quite a ride. Very cool. I love it. Well, is there a book you'd like to share with us that you've read that you think people could learn a lot from or enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am an avid reader and listener of books. I probably go through 3.
You sound like my wife. My wife
yeah.
is the same way. She has earbuds in her ears. I think it's because she didn't want to listen to me, but she is listening to books all the time. And before audiobooks came, she was at the library every week, 3-4 books. I mean, she just devours, probably why she's so dang smart.
I know, and that's what, right? It's hard to think about just picking one when you sit around with earbuds in your ears all the time, for sure.
Well, just for today, maybe.
Yeah, okay, fine. Maybe you could pin me down. My favorite book of all time, I think, just in our own industry and just hearing a fun story and the challenges and everything, was American Icon, the story about Alan Mulally and how he came in to save Ford. It's such an inspirational story, and it really has some like great tidbits in there too about different ways to structure meetings and hold people accountable. And on top of that, right, like how did they turn things around? It's really an amazing story. So that was one of my most fun ones and just really related to our industry as well. But I love different books like The Surrender Experiment, which is totally different. And it's this book by Michael Singer, and his whole book is about how he just would surrender into these experiences that life put in front of him.
Wow.
And I got like a few chapters in and I got really grumpy about him. Like, this guy's not standing up for himself. And I almost didn't continue the book because I was so concerned about this guy's boundaries.
Isn't that funny?
But I'm glad I finished it because it was just such an like interesting story about when certain like challenges get put in front of you, like right. If you allow yourself to like, grow through them and just meet them head on, it's so different. So yeah, I loved that book.
Sounds fascinating. Oh, Alan Mulally, what really stands out for me with him, he ended up coming up here to the Northwest and running the Boeing company. But, you think about 2008, Ford was about to run out of money. And that was when, the recession came and the government stepped in and saved the auto industry, really. General Motors, Chrysler gave a whole bunch of us, our taxpayers' monies at the comment of, well, if we don't do this, there's going to be bigger problems. And Alan comes in and goes, you know what? We can do this ourselves. Mm-hmm. We don't need to be bailed out. And that's among the many things that I admire him for. That was one of those things that really stood out for me with how he helped that company. But absolutely brilliant man. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Very cool. Nice mention of that book. All right, Melanie, well, you have taken me on a very cool ride today. I knew this was going to be really fun. I want to thank you for sharing your journey. And I want to do a shout out to my friends at Con Media, Luke Walsh, who put us together today. My friends at Con, those guys bring me so many great guests. Just awesome. So thank you, Luke, and your team for bringing Melanie to Women's Month here on Cars Yeah. Before I let you go, is there one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance you might offer our listeners out there to inspire them to move onward and upward?
Yeah, thank you. I think my biggest thing now is that I'd like to leave with people is that the things that we can do is really like think about like where we have growth opportunities, right? Like this last year has been an incredibly challenging year in 2020, and 2021, has plenty of its own challenges.
There's a few carryovers still happening, aren't there? Yeah.
Just a few.
Yeah.
And I think, in all of that, there is this opportunity to grow through it. And there's something for all of us to learn during that. And I think, the biggest thing that we all have is this opportunity to ride it and enjoy this journey, no matter where you're at in it. So I think I would love for people to just be able to enjoy things, even this rough year, right? There's plenty of joy in it as well. And so, just have fun, right? Like this is what we get to do in our industry, and we get to play with cars. So it's fun.
And I get to talk to some incredible people, including Melanie White here from Hellwig Products. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. What a nice and brilliant and wonderful person you are. What's one of the are several of the many ways people can learn more about Hellwig Products.
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page, Hellwig Products. We have Instagram. Hellwigproducts.com is our website. Please, we'd love to connect with customers. We love to answer questions. So if there's anything that we can do, please check us out there.
Absolutely. I'll put links to those on Melanie's show notes page on the Cars Yeah website. Hellwig, Hellwig. Now, originally, was that pronounced Hellwig? Does the family have some German,
blonde hair.
some German roots back there? I kind of thought that might be. Yeah, Hellwig. Well, Hellwig Products, awesome company, obviously run by an awesome lady with an awesome team right next to her. You can find everything on Melanie's show notes page on the Cars Yeah website. Melanie, hey, thank you for being so generous today with your time, your passion, your optimism. This has been really fun. Until you and I talk again and we see each other at SEMA, I'll see you down the road.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you know that Cars Yeah is in the top 1% of all podcasts based on listenership, according to Libsyn, the premier RSS feed for podcasts in the United States? That's right. And Cars Yeah is the only 5-day-a-week automotive-focused podcast for you to get your message into the ears of thousands of listeners daily from all over the world. Plus, DuPont Registry recommended Cars Yeah is one of their top 10 car podcasts for you to enjoy. Cars Yeah has experienced tremendous growth, plus your ads are evergreen, meaning they never go away. And more listeners find Cars Yeah every day for their daily dose of automotive inspiration. Do you want to expose your brand to a highly targeted list of automotive enthusiasts in a very unique and very personal way? Well, I can help you. Contact me, Mark Green, at mark@carsyeah.com or through the website at carsyeah.com today to learn more.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.